Welcome back to Brick and Brand. We're your co-hosts, Delaney and Bradley, and it is officially 2026. Crazy.
Happy Sunday, sister. We are one day away from officially being done with all the holidays and all the breaks. That is the most depressing thing I think I've said all year.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about it. I'm not doing well mentally.
This time of year is the worst when you're coming off of the holidays. The anxiety
Is
is
like
really
through the
real right
roof.
now.
It's through
Yeah.
the roof. Yeah. Well, and I'm just trying to think when the next time. All I've been doing the past few days is think about when the next time I'm going to have a vacation is. And it's uncertain. And that's where
Yeah.
I'm starting to get really
Yeah.
stressed out. You know, when you don't have
Well,
something to look forward to, it's like, oh God.
I
Okay.
know, and it's that, like, time of the year where there's really no real holidays until, like, Easter. There's a
Right.
few, like, Mondays off, which we never take off in our business, so there's really no major holidays till Easter, so it's kind of a marathon right now, like, we're coming off of a break. I feel, like, lazier than I've ever felt, and I was realizing, my gosh, I could get used to the sleeping in life. I could get used to staying at home life, going out to eat, having one too many drinks. It's like, okay, I can actually really get on board with that life. Even though I see myself as this like hard charging person, which I am normally, the holidays just like ruins you and
Yeah.
you never want to leave like your coma.
That's
But we
saying a
have to.
lot coming from you because
I
you are a
know.
hard charger. Like, you never stop. I have those feelings like periodically throughout the week. Like, oh, I wonder what my life would look like if I didn't have to wake up at 5:45 every morning or if I could sleep in. But I think about that often and I feel like you're always like, no, I'm good. Like, I was up at 4 for a
Yeah.
workout. I'm at work. Like, I'm fine. And so it's saying a lot that you're feeling that type of way that you're
I
like,
think part of it is like during the year, I'm in denial, right? Because
I
I
think
have
so.
12 months of work and I just turn off the
Yeah.
option of there being any rest. And then the holidays comes and I'm like, oh, I actually can live this life. Like, this is so nice. So,
Yeah.
speaking of that, I need to hear what you did for New Year's Eve. Did you do anything? I haven't heard any of the tea on that yet.
Yeah, we actually intentionally saved this for the pod. I've been wanting to tell you everything that happened, but I was like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna save it and give it to you on the pod so everyone can hear at the same time," which was
This is the first time
difficult for
I'm
me,
hearing this
but
as well.
yeah, this is important tea, but
Wait, I'm
no,
excited.
I had a great New Year's, honestly. I had a really good time. I went out like 4 days in a row, which
My
is
gosh.
unheard of for me.
Like,
More like
out
2.
I'm kinda old now, so, like, what does out mean? Does that, like, mean going to
So
the club, the bars?
yeah, so New Year's Eve, we went to a club
Okay.
and, they obviously had live music and they had a good set going and stuff, but we got a table, which was much better, so you have your own personal space and you're not being, like, stepped on and shoved and all that. And then New Year's Day, we went to Crossed, which is like a little music festival that they were having, or like a rave kind of. They had it New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, and some people went to both
Oh
days, some people went
gosh.
to one or the other. But it was probably like 2 PM on the we were laying on the couch on New Year's Day, and we were recovering from the night before. We were up till 5 or 6 in the morning, bro. It was insane.
What?
And I was like, "Oh, okay, I have all day, just lay on the couch and rot. It's New Year's, no one's doing anything, it's fine." And then we ended up getting roped into going out again. And, like, within an hour, I was ready to take a nap on the couch and veg and rot the rest of the day, and then plans got switched, and it was like, "Get ready now. We're leaving in 45 minutes
Wow.
to go out again for, like, 6, 7 more hours," and it took a lot out of me. I do not party like that normally.
No, you don't. That is
That
insane. So
yeah.
did you go out 2 other days too, or was it mainly those 2 days?
Kind of. Yeah, I went out, like, again last night with Liberty and with our sister Liberty and then, like, some of her friends just for a little bit. And then we, like, got drinks, like, one other night, but mainly it was, like, 2
Those 2 nights.
2 nights,
My gosh.
but I don't even drink normally,
I
barely.
know.
So this was, like, a big deal for me. It was a lot.
Did you feel sick the next day?
I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm,
Yeah.
like, still recovering. It's so
It's the
pathetic.
worst feeling,
Yeah,
honestly.
and when I used to party like this, I was 21, 22, 23, and I feel like I would sleep, and the next day I would be perfectly fine.
Mhm.
And even though I'm only a couple years past that, even now, I'm like, "Okay, I need a week to recover or a couple of
Yeah,
days."
it
I'm
really
not
does
well.
change. Yeah, it
Yeah.
changes so much. I didn't even go out to any kind of a, club or rave or anything like that, but we did go to dinner with friends, and then
Okay.
we bounced over to my other friend's house just for, like, a little house party, sat outside by the fire, had a glass or 2 of champagne. So we
Okay,
got home
cute.
by, like, midnight, it wasn't even a late night, but I usually don't drink that much either, and I probably had, I don't know, like, throughout the course of the night, 4, 5, 6 drinks because you're just kinda keep drinking.
Yeah.
And I am not gonna lie, I felt horrible the next day, horrible.
On New Year's
And
Day?
on New Year's Day,
Okay.
and I really felt like I don't ever wanna drink again, like, my body just doesn't like it, and I had this horrible headache. It just totally threw me off my game, so I could never have gone back out that same night. I was, like,
Yeah.
anti-alcohol, anti-people. I
Yeah.
still kind of am. I'm feeling a little better now. It's been, like, 4 days, but I can only do that, like, every so often, and then I'm, like,
Yeah.
good for the year. I just don't like doing that to my body. But New
Yeah.
Year's Eve is the one time where it's like, if you're
It's
going
like you
to do
kinda
it, you
have
should.
to. I agree.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
thinking the same thing. I was like, "I don't miss this at all. I don't really wanna go." And then I was like, "Okay, it's New Year's Eve. Everyone's doing it. If
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it a couple times a year, now's the time to go and have
Like, get it
fun and
out of
go
your
all out."
system.
Yeah, and New Year's was on a Thursday? Yeah, Thursday, right?
Yeah.
So we had our New Year's Eve was Wednesday, so we had some days to recover. So I
Yeah.
was like, "I should just go for it." But imagine being in that state and then your friends being like, "No, you have to come out again." Like,
No, I wouldn't go. Yeah.
yeah, I
I
had a
would
real
not
mental
succumb to that
battle.
peer pressure.
So you guys have just been ledging and covering the past few days. New Year's Eve was your only night out.
We
Is
really
that
the only
right?
night we went out. Yeah, we
Okay.
grabbed dinner on Friday, but no, we've honestly been doing, like, health and wellness things since then. Like, I went
Ugh,
to the gym, I went for several walks, like, I just wanting to be, like, outside kind of feeling my best because work starts tomorrow. So and then catching up
yeah.
on, like, a few little things, but honestly, yeah, kind of speaking about New Year's Eve, I feel like we ate at this really cool new restaurant called Babel, which is a Mediterranean place that just opened.
Nice.
And it was so hard to get reservations because all the restaurants are obviously just packed. Like, I feel like New Year's Eve is probably one of their busiest nights of the year.
Totally.
And then kind of going into January, at least in Dallas, January is like one of the slowest months for restaurants
Mhm.
because everyone is on January, not drinking, or they're just saving money, whatever their New Year's resolutions are.
Mhm.
So it was cool to kind of see like the restaurants just like pumping out one of the last big days for about a month.
Mhm.
And then that kind of got us talking about, like, food and restaurants, which are some of, like, our personally, one of my favorite things to talk about,
Mhm.
and, growing up, we didn't ever, like, eat out that much. We always ate at home, so I was never, like, a foodie, so to speak. But in the past couple of years, I feel like I've gotten to work with so many cool restaurants that I've gotten really into kind of restaurateurs and food and beverage and just appreciated what they're doing a little bit more.
Yeah. It's a destination. Like, it's somewhere people go to spend time together. And no matter what type of food it is or what culture or what background you're from, food is a place to, like, come together and spend time with people you love and take a pause from your daily life and, like, socialize and enjoy the people around you. I think I wasn't in tune with that either growing up because we just couldn't eat out with having 6 kids. And then working at PF Chang's and being part of a corporate restaurant, seeing how that all worked and seeing how food was the cornerstone for bringing so many people together, it's really special and it's really
Yeah, it really
unique.
is.
And I actually oh, sorry, go ahead.
Well, no, I was just gonna say, and you said unique, which I think is a great word because food and beverage is so different than the rest of retail. And we work
Mhm.
with so many retailers, but the food category, which is technically restaurant, not retail, is really different and it like completely stands on its own.
Mhm. I actually went out to eat, I think it was the day before New Year's Eve, I'm pretty sure, so it must have been Tuesday, and I didn't really put much thought into it. It was we were out shopping for something, and then we decided to grab a bite somewhere, and, I went to put my name on the list, and she said, like, "Oh, it's gonna be a 45-minute wait," and I saw that the patio was all open, like, available seating, and so I said, "No problem, but could we just sit on the patio?" And the host said, "No, the kitchen's backed up, servers are kinda backed up, it's gonna be 45 minutes." And we ended up sitting at the bar, but long story short, it's got me thinking about back when I was a restaurant operator, and like you were saying, this is such a busy time of year for them, and I've only been out of it for a year and a half, and all of a sudden my mindset's completely different, and I'm, functioning as a consumer now and just stopping
Mhm.
by, "Well, why don't you have a seat for me?" And it was
Demanding a seat,
yeah,
yeah.
and it was
Yeah.
crazy for me to think all of a sudden, like, I sat down at the bar and I was like, "Oh my god," like, I remember this week between Christmas and New Year's and how stressful it was for restaurant operators
Mhm.
where you never really know how busy it's gonna be. You're trying to staff up because people are wanting to spend money and go out and socialize with families in town, and people don't wanna cook. But then there's also, like, everybody just spent a ton of money at Christmas, people are traveling, so it's a very
Yeah.
unpredictable time of year, and it
Right.
can be really difficult. Like, the restaurant we were at, fabulous restaurant, but they were understaffed. And,
Yeah.
maybe they had servers call out because people wanted to spend time with their family. So
Totally.
it's hard to be a restaurant operator during this time of year, and it's hard to run a smooth restaurant and be able to
Yeah.
serve the demand
Yeah, I
around the
think it's just
holidays.
hard in general to be a restaurant operator,
Totally.
and I've
Totally.
been able to get to work with more and more restaurants over the past few years, and every time that I spend time with a restaurant operator, or we're touring, or we're in their restaurant, or I'm hearing their story, I just get even more respect for them. What these
Mhm.
operators, these founders do to keep these places running, not only is it just incredibly creative, like they're actually very creative individuals, they also have
Yeah.
to have a very business savvy side. So there's two like really cool things that don't often coexist in entrepreneurs kind of coming together, and they're creating this vision that they probably first put down on paper somewhere and then they're bringing it to life. But to your
Mhm.
point, there's constant ups and downs and staffing and labor and food costs. There's so many things, and it's every day, kind of like our business. You're in it 24/7 every day. And so I have so much respect for restaurants. They're the cornerstone to so much of what we experience in our cities and our retail centers. And they, like you were saying, it's kind of across all cultures, but they are
Mhm.
food and eating and being with loved ones or friends or going on a date. That's a daily behavior. Unlike maybe, a barber shop or a nail salon where, yes, you go regularly, but you're not necessarily going every day. But
Mhm.
we eat food 3 times a day. If you're not hungry now, give it a few hours. Like, you'll be thinking about food and wondering,
Yeah.
where should I go?
Yep.
Restaurants, they don't get enough credit, I don't think, in the retail world for how much they actually do,
Yeah.
for all of us.
I was in a Jimbo's shopping center yesterday. Actually, I'm sorry, it was Lazy Acres. I was in a Lazy Acres shopping center, and I was walking back to my car with the groceries, and it's been raining in San Diego for like a week and a half. So we haven't seen the sun. It's pouring rain, which is a lot for San Diego. Half of our city is underwater right now. But I was walking back to the car, and there was a little bar and pub, like functioning like a restaurant, but and there was no indoor seating, only patio seating, and it had a covering, but there was definitely still water running off the sides of it, right, from the rain. And I walked by to go to my car, only restaurant in the entire shopping center, and they were jam-packed. Like,
Of course.
jam-packed. There was a
Yeah.
line of people standing in the pouring rain, waiting to get into this little, like, bar and pub restaurant type thing and to sit on the patio in the rain. And it
Yeah.
made me think exactly what we're talking about today. Oh my God, this is what people will do just to go out, get a hot meal, spend time with family, socialize, be in a social setting. And they were willing to stand in the rain, wait 30 minutes. I mean,
Yeah.
they didn't even care.
Yeah, our
And
days don't
it
revolve around shopping, they revolve
right.
around food. And when was the
It's
last
so
time
interesting.
when a guy asked you on a date, or guys, if you have a lovely woman you're asking on a date, when was the last time you were like, "Oh, let's go." meet at the dry cleaner or let's go meet at the barber shop. Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
happen. Like, you go
Yeah.
somewhere where you can spend time and you can order multiple things,
Yeah.
and that's what makes them, like, so unique as a retailer.
Yeah, totally agree. So that kind of leads us into food and beverage and how it affects leasing and shopping centers and retail in general. But as
Yes.
Bretley was saying, we don't plan our lives around shopping or going to the mall or going to the dry cleaners. It's coffee dates,
Mhm.
it's dinner dates, it's let's go grab brunch, let's grab
Yes.
mimosas. We love, I think it's a small element of luxury too to be served,
Yes.
right? When at
Yes.
home, you have to make it yourself. So it feels like a little luxury to have someone serve you, to have a hot meal that you didn't have to prepare yourself. So they're not just tenants, they really are generating so much traffic
Yeah.
wherever they are and benefiting the whole rest of the center or everybody around them.
Yeah, we have a funny rule with the shopping centers that we lease, and we always say, like, "No food, no traffic," and it's kind of a joke, but we really kind of live by that when we're working on a leasing plan, no matter how big or small the shopping center is. Because sometimes we'll be going along in our leasing and we realize we don't have a restaurant yet or a big one, and we will stop and we will not do any more leases until we make sure we secure a restaurant. Retailers who are coming into the space, whether it's a med spa or nail salon or a dentist, they always ask like what restaurants are signed because they
Mhm.
know that's going to be pulling the daily foot traffic. Of course, UPS and other types of users, they're going to get daily foot traffic, but those people are rushing in and out. They're not necessarily stopping to spend money and inviting their friends and families. Restaurants do so much for a retail center, and to your point, they activate kind of all 3 day parts, morning, midday, and night. And, you can have a brunch house that's rocking and rolling by 6:30 or 7, coffee, brunch, mimosas. You can have a great cafe that's bringing traffic all day and then drinks into the night. So they do something that like most retailers can't do in terms of just foot traffic. And they're not an anchor tenant. They can be, but they do bring on a smaller scale that daily foot traffic that's needed at any
Mhm.
shopping center.
Not to mention the nightlife. All your service, your grocery stores, your daily needs, your Pilates studio, your nail salon, your dentist, those are closing at 6,
Yeah.
7, 8 p.m. And the restaurant's keeping the shopping center alive until 11 o'clock at night, midnight.
And they can
So,
sometimes do that completely on their own with everybody else
totally.
closed. In fact, sometimes they want that because the parking gets too full
Yeah,
and they need more
exactly.
space. So
So,
restaurants
yeah.
are really incredible.
And they really are like the popular kid in school. Everyone wants to sit near them, even if they're not actually
Yeah,
that cool by themselves.
100%. Yeah, and once the food is in, the rest of the leasing becomes easier
Yeah,
because there's
it's
an
so true.
automatic customer base. So, and part of that is just, who are these restaurants, right? Who are the big hospitality players in each of our cities, in any city? Every city has them that people know and they have such a loyal following. And they do something even more special, right? Because you can get a sexy new restaurant from Vegas or New York or Miami, and it creates a lot of buzz and people love it and they go. But there's something about a local hospitality group that it started, grew, and right in your city that people, I think, really have an affection for and a loyalty for. No matter where they go, they will get customers.
I feel like they understand the culture when they're
Yeah.
founded or born within your city. There's just an element of culture that's different than, like you said, bringing a really cool, sexy new restaurant from
Mhm.
Vegas or something that's already international. And so I'm sure Dallas has quite a few hospitality groups that have multiple restaurants that are fantastic and that are true to Dallas. Like they bring the vibe, the
Yes.
energy, they fit what your clientele and what your demographic is looking for. What's
Yeah, they do, and
one of your
I
top
love
ones?
your yes, I'm gonna call out a few of my favorites, and I love your point that each city kind of has a different the restaurateurs have to cater it towards a different vibe that's
Yeah,
there and the people, because when I was in
yeah,
San Diego recently, I did notice the restaurants were very different. I mean, the biggest thing I
yeah,
noticed is they were almost all patio. Everything was
mhm,
open, everything was very fluid in terms of indoor-outdoor space, and we
mhm,
obviously don't have that in Dallas with the weather difference.
mhm,
So and there was also just more of a, like, a laid back kind of vibe at the
totally.
restaurants. you just feel different, and you know that those operators created that specifically for the San Diego locals and the people who are visiting who wanna feel that way.
Yeah. I love that you recognize that. That's so sweet. You
Of course.
understand San Diego.
I'm a restaurant girly.
No, I know. I
No, it's
noticed a
true.
similar thing in Dallas. You guys are just like fast chargers, get it done, busy, busy,
Yeah.
busy. I feel like the service is on point. It's quick,
Yeah.
it's fast. You're greeted, your car's valeted immediately. I mean, it's
Yeah.
those are things we just don't have here. It's just different. Like
Yeah,
you're
and that's the vibe here, right? Is
yeah.
everybody doesn't wanna waste any time, everyone is rushing, and efficiency and speed and also just the competition. The restaurant scene in Dallas is very competitive. There's so many restaurants. They're coming from all over the world, so you really do have to be good to do well. Dallasites, Fort Worth folks, they will try a restaurant once, but if you don't do well on the service, if you're not valeting the car quickly, if you're forgetting the drink order, whatever it may be, you're not going to get repeat customers. And hospitality group that just does phenomenal, that's very well known in Dallas is Vandalay Hospitality Group. I think you've probably eaten in one of their restaurants when you were here, Delaney, but
That
it was
sounds
started
familiar.
by a guy named Hunter Pond, and he has a bunch of concepts now. He started with East Hampton Sandwich Company, which he sold, but he has Hudson House, Drake's, Brentwood's, Anchor Sushi Bar, and a few others. But really, what he does well is exactly kind of what we were just talking about. He knows how to blend a restaurant and make it a great place to take a client, a great place to have a date night, or to have a lunch meeting, or to just grab a drink. No matter what you're needing, his restaurants come to mind. So it kind of fills that void of it's polished, it's familiar, it's repeatable.
Mm,
They're not chasing the trends. They're just a great staple, and whatever
super
they do
reliable.
it well.
Yeah.
Yes, and you can feel good about taking anybody there who's in from out of town.
You know it's gonna be good every time and you know what
Yes.
you're getting. I like
They
restaurants
have
like that. I
the
really do.
best martini at Hudson House, the best dirty martini. If you
Really?
haven't tried it, you have to try it. Yes, they're very
That's
famous for that.
awesome. Love it.
So
Okay, well,
tell me
let me
about one
throw
in
out
San
one.
Diego.
Yeah, in San Diego. One of the top ones that comes to mind just because of their uniqueness and their kind of design forward approach is Consortium Holdings. They're behind Born and Raised, Craft and Commerce, Ironside, Morning Glory, and tons more restaurants. If you live in San Diego, you're familiar with at least one or two of those. They feel more like a world, like its own universe than a restaurant. When you walk in, it feels like you're transported to a whole nother place. So they're big on experiential dining and making the guest feel a certain type of way when they're in that environment. So that coupled with excellent food, excellent drinks,
Mhm.
they just do a really, really good job. When they enter into a neighborhood or open a new restaurant, it's instantly busy, hard to get a reservation. They're very successful and people will travel to them because there's just not a lot of places
Yeah.
out there like them. Born and Raised is actually where I did my 21st birthday party in San Diego. It was the first time I ever actually had a drink. Don't worry.
There you
A
go.
legal drink. No, I'm just kidding. But they have this really cool deck up top, and it's in downtown San Diego, and it kind of overlooks the city
Mhm.
skyline. And it's indoor, outdoor with just greenery and lush everywhere, from the dishware to the inside of their restroom. I mean, it's like that. Everything's trendy. They want there to be a photo op at
Mm.
every corner, and it's
Okay.
kind of dark and moody. And so they do a fabulous job, and they've got some really incredible restaurants. So
It
we'll go
sounds
to
kinda
one when you
like
come back.
I would love that. Yeah, it kinda sounds like the whole vibe dining. I don't know if you've read about that, but it's
Yeah.
kind of a new thing in
Yeah.
restaurants where it's like you're going to eat, but you're also, like, going for the vibe, and it's like
Yeah.
experiential entertainment. It's like you're going to, like, have this whole experience entertainment while you're also eating, which is it's definitely becoming more popular, I think, than it has been in the past.
Totally.
And in the right locations, those guys will just do so well.
Crazy well, yeah.
And I wanna call out one more because I would not be a true Dallas girl if I did not call out Duro Hospitality Group. They are just incredible. It was founded by 4 partners, and they're responsible really for some of the most influential restaurants in Dallas, the Charles, Sister, Mr. Charles, El Carlos Elegante, and they have a new concept called Norma's Japanese, which is actually right up the street from my house. What these guys do, it's very different from Vandalay, and it's not really experiential, although it's every concept is very unique and inspiring. They kind of transport you to another part of the world. Like El Carlos
Mm,
Elegante, you feel like you're going into Mexico City. So it's
okay, so
very
super
authentic.
authentic. Okay.
Yes, the design, the food, everything is like you are there in Mexico City. It's very unique. Same with Norma's. Norma's is actually a blend of like Japanese sushi and like
Oh, okay.
Southwest food, which I've never had a restaurant that blended those two cuisines. And there's a really
Interesting.
cool story behind it that the founder talks about in the menus, and when you're there, you read about
Yeah.
it. But they just create these really unique places that blend like cultures and countries and cuisines. And when you go, you feel really immersed. Like I'm in Japan, but I'm also like a cowboy eating, like a meal around the
Yeah.
campfire. It's just this very unique way of doing restaurants. And when they open up somewhere, it doesn't matter where, doesn't matter if there's a parking challenge or a signage issue. People know, people go. They just have such a loyal following.
Yeah, I'm so inspired by restaurant operators and people that are coming up with these concepts, like blending two different concepts or different types of
Yeah.
food together and telling like this really unique, cool story about it. And I'm sure that went into their menu design, their artwork, their decor, everything is supposed to make
It's
you feel like you're a
amazing.
part of that journey. And I just think that's so cool. There's nothing else out there that is like that when you combine food and then also this really intimate, personal experience. I just think it's so
Yeah, it's
special.
it's kinda like what I was saying at the beginning, restaurateurs are a lot more creative than people give them credit for. They're not unlike
Totally.
artists and writers and
Yeah.
songwriters. I mean, they're creating this whole feeling and story and bringing it to life through food, which
Mhm.
is so cool. Is there any others in San Diego we should be aware of, Delaney?
Yes, there's a bunch, but one other really cool one that I want to call out is Social Syndicate. They also have like just the coolest name. I don't even know how they
Yeah.
came up with that, but they're kind of more neighborhood driven, experience led as well, and very, very much authentic San Diego. So a little bit less super high end elevated dining, more approachable, more kind of just like every day. They have Wonderland Ocean Pub, they have OB Surf Lodge, which is one of the first restaurants I applied to work at when I moved to San Diego. They unfortunately did not hire me, but it's okay. I had
We still
um
love them, though.
we still love them. Yeah, no, super cool restaurant. They're right on the water. They have Monarch Ocean Pub, which I think you and Abe have been there, right? We
Is
went
that
to
the one
Monarch.
that has the roof? It's
Yeah,
right
in Del
overlooking the
Mar that
ocean.
yeah.
Yes, I did eat there. Yeah, and isn't it mainly, like, outdoors? Is that a
They
different
have
one?
They have that outdoor component too on the
Okay.
backside, but there's a whole indoor restaurant and then it overlooks the ocean, so it's all
Yes,
wide
I did eat
open.
there. That
And then
was
yeah,
place was packed when we were
yes.
there.
Yeah,
Don't they
they
have the
do
sign that says, "I love where this is going" on the side of the
yes.
building? Yes.
Yes, good
I love
memory.
that sign.
Yes. I think we took a photo there actually, yeah.
Yeah.
So they have very cool, like true authentic San Diego concepts. They just to name a couple of others, they have LaDonna, Rosie O'Grady's, Bootlegger, Plates and Pours, and The Local, which is another fabulous spot. They're kind of more built around the views. A lot of them are at or near the ocean. Lots of good energy. Like I don't know if you were there when we at Monarch when they do the cheers. Like at some point, I think it's might be right when the sun is setting, they'll turn off all the music in the restaurant and the bartender will stand up on the counter and start yelling, get everyone to quiet down. And he gets the whole restaurant to say like this really positive, uplifting, like
Mm.
kind of chant or, whatever. And then the whole restaurant cheers is together to just like the end of a great day and like the start of a next. I mean, it's
Oh
just
my
like
gosh.
so cute and
That's
fun
the
and you
vibe
just
that I
feel
love in San
yeah,
Diego.
you feel
That's a
like you're a
little
part of
more
a
San Diego.
community. It's
Yeah.
very much true San Diego. So they're awesome and they're actually now expanding with a new large scale waterfront restaurant at the Coronado Ferry Landing, bringing kind of their oceanfront community centered vibe to a new restaurant. We're very much excited about that. The Coronado Ferry Landing is still up and coming, so that'll be a couple
Okay.
years out, but that's a very exciting development.
Well, I have a question kind of going off script here. So these, and I've actually wondered this, I work with some San Diego restaurants, but a lot of these groups that you mentioned, They do seem to revolve a lot around an ocean view and the
Uh,
indoor-outdoor and that whole surfer vibe. Do you think that are these groups, at least the ones you mentioned, are they expanding to other markets? Do you think these concepts would translate well in other markets, or do you think because they're so revolving around the ocean and the water that they're just focused on being there?
yeah, if I had to say, I would say Consortium Holdings or CH is probably a little bit more versatile and could go to other markets and other
Yeah,
states. I can see their concepts being successful pretty much anywhere in the right area within the city, right? They wouldn't want to be like on the outskirts but
sure.
within the right area, I think they could do really well. Definitely in other cities. I feel like Social Syndicate's a little bit more, they play off of that ocean pub, oceanfront.
They have to almost
You're
rebrand
in
a little bit.
sandals and your swimsuits on, yeah, and you have a beach towel under your arm. I mean, it's that kind of vibe, I feel like.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily see that in Texas, like, see that doing super well. But I think with some kind of, maybe cowboy western rebranding,
Yeah, that's what I'm
Consortium
thinking.
Holdings could do fabulous. Yeah, they just have
Yeah.
to kind of expand their marketing.
I love comparing the concepts, like, Dallas and Atlanta are kinda like sister cities, a lot of their concepts translate really easily,
Yeah.
and I think Phoenix might be that way too, but I always am interested and intrigued by, like, California ocean-based restaurants because they have
Mhm.
incredible food, and it's
Mhm.
always a little bit of a, "How do we take this incredible vibe?" And it's no
Mhm.
longer about the ocean, but it's still, like, just as impactful. So,
Mhm.
thank you for sharing your thoughts, that's super interesting.
I love restaurants. This makes me wanna go try out a new spot, so
I was gonna
this
say, I
was
was
fun.
literally just thinking, I'm so hungry now.
I know, literally same. I
My
was
stomach's growling.
Morning Glory, which is a Consortium Holdings concept. They have their brunch spot, and I'm, like, dreaming of their food right now. It's so phenomenal. So
Well, we're going to pause on our talk about all these great restaurants, and we're going to introduce kind of a new segment that we're doing this month. And we're doing this because everybody really, really loved it when we did it in Christmas time, and we thought it was really fun. And so we're doing another segment of Deal or No Deal. We're doing it all month. And this month, the topic is career and money for all of us thinking about Deal or No Deal.
I just got, like, anxiety, a rush of anxiety. This is stressful all of a sudden. No, I'm kidding.
I know it is stressful, but it's good things for us to think about because these things
Well,
happen in real life.
totally. And we also did the Deal or No Deal for Sullivan and Dad, which was so fun. And I feel like I was surprised by some of their answers. I didn't necessarily expect
Yeah.
them to say deal or no deal on certain ones, or to kind of like wimp out and be like, no, that's too much work.
Too
So,
much work.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think this will
Lame.
be really fun. Now we can drill each other and be like, I'm holding you to that. You said you would
Because
do
I
that.
actually
So,
I don't know the answers to some of these, and I'm sure you don't either. So I'm going to start
okay.
and ask you one.
Okay.
Okay. You get your dream job, title, money, prestige, everything you've wanted, but you have to move to a city that you hate and you can't move for
Shoot.
5 years. Deal or no
Shoot.
deal? I don't know what city this would be for you. You can think of
Okay.
one and tell us, but think
Okay.
of your worst city to live in.
Bakersfield.
That's our
No,
hometown.
that's just the first thing that came to mind, just knowing that I wouldn't wanna move back there, so let's just
Ugh.
say it's Bakersfield. I get title, money, and what was the 3rd thing? Prestige?
Prestige.
Okay,
Lots of prestige.
and I have to live there for 5 years, but I hate the city. Holy shit.
It's hard. These are hard.
That's honestly really hard because I kinda don't believe in moving unless it's, like, my
Delaney,
dream
it's a yes or
job.
no answer. It's deal or no
This is difficult.
There's no
Okay,
discussion.
it's 5 years. I'm gonna say no deal because
No deal.
here's my reasoning. It didn't say you don't like the city. It said you specifically hate the city that you're living in. So, I believe that I can manifest that same job in a city that I love. So, I'm
There you
gonna say
go.
no.
That's fair. I have complete respect for that.
I feel like you definitely would have done the opposite. You would have said
No,
yes.
honestly, no. I think it would have been no deal for me too.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
I'm really big about
Where I
liking
live.
where I live. No, it's like a huge
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be motivated to go to work if I hated where I live. So,
Right.
for me, there's no amount of money that would make me miserable where I live.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Okay, your turn. You double your income overnight, but your job is unstable. You could be laid off at any time. Deal or no deal. So you double your income overnight. However, your job is unstable and you could be fired at any point.
For me, this is a deal because I feel like my job is unstable right now as a broker.
This is
I mean,
nothing
it
new.
is. You can be laid
Yeah.
off by clients, by projects. So for me, the thought of being laid off is not really that scary. It's just like you go find something else. So if I could keep it for a little while and double my income, I would take the deal.
Yeah.
You've got a
Yeah.
deal, sister.
The the trouble is we don't know how long you're keeping it for. Like, do you double it instantly and then you're fired? Or, it's
Yeah, we don't know
you
the
never
details of
know.
these things, but I think it would be a deal.
Okay. Very good. Very
Okay.
good.
So here is one for you. You get an interview with your absolute dream job, perfect role, big money, career defining. Halfway through the interview, you realize something is off. Your potential boss makes comments that are casually racist, sexist, and just deeply problematic. Nothing illegal, nothing you should report, just enough to know this person is not a good human.
Okay.
You'll work directly under them, daily interaction, big exposure, big upside, deal or no deal. So this is not a good person, and you'll be working with them every day. But nothing
Okay.
illegal necessarily is going
But
on.
it's nothing illegal and nothing I need to report
Correct. Deal or no
necessarily.
deal.
Well, here's my thing. I feel like I've worked with quite a few of these people already, so I think I could
Mhm.
handle it. I'm going to say deal. It's career defining. I'm supposed to make this is supposed to be my dream job. I can whip this person into
Yeah.
shape. I'm good at not taking shit, and I feel like throughout my professional career and my different jobs, I've worked with plenty of these people. So that doesn't scare me at
I
all.
knew you
I'll
were gonna
just
say
yeah.
deal because I feel like you have had really tough jobs and you've
No, I
managed it. So I
have.
knew that was a deal for you.
I have, and I've had, horrible bosses. Sorry to anyone if you're listening to this, but no, I have. I've had some really great ones. I've had some
Yeah.
really horrible ones, and I've just been in that position already, except for I didn't have the part that it was career defining and, my dream job, so
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Fair enough. I know you
Well,
can handle it.
would you take it? I wanna know actually before we
I
move
think
on.
for me, it would probably be no deal on that one.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. I have an issue with people like that, and I wouldn't wanna work for them.
No,
So,
that's so valid.
I'm not
But
as good as at managing,
you do better than
people.
them, and then you get them booted out and you take their spot, you know?
100%. Yeah.
So just like that. Okay, last one for you. You land a huge role, but you have to be on socially at all times. Clients,
Oh,
events,
God.
dinners, networking nonstop. Deal or no deal? This sounds like you already, I feel like.
This would be hard. I mean, this sounds very draining to me. I do like to network, but I'm also like an extroverted introvert. So I like to be alone and recharge. And the thought of 24/7 networking,
Yeah, this is like my
that
worst
would be
nightmare.
really, really hard for me. Yeah. I don't know. Define huge role. What is this job?
No, you don't get any
I
specifics.
don't
It's
think
your dream job, okay?
I think dream job. Okay, this is really hard because this truly would be very difficult for me. I would be incredibly drained
Yeah,
every day. I wouldn't enjoy this necessarily,
but you
but
are so good at networking. So
I
keep that
think
in
that for
mind.
me it would be a deal. And of course, we can't caveat this, but it probably would be a temporary job for me. But if I could
Yeah.
do it for a few years, probably just to get ahead.
Yeah.
And the beauty is you would meet so many people. You would just be completely wasted at the end, like a shell of yourself. But
Yeah.
I think for
You
me,
would
it's a
start
deal.
drinking, start
Yeah.
smoking,
I would give up working out, everything, just
yeah.
drink
Oh,
and
yeah.
be with people.
Just survival.
These are
That's
actually pretty tough
no,
questions.
those are actually fun, and I also feel like it brings out the differences in us, which is fun
Yeah.
because we're so similar, but I like when it's you would do that, I probably wouldn't,
So you would
that's
not
fun.
do would you not do the socially on all the time? Was that no deal for you?
That would be a no deal for me. No, that's
Okay.
literally my worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Socially
Yeah,
on at
I
all
pictured that.
times. No,
Yeah.
thank you. Events, dinners, I can be socially on within the timeline of work, 9 to 5,
Yeah.
8 to 6.
So it's hard for you to go out after work and network?
Yeah, no. No,
Yeah.
that's my me time.
Okay.
I have to know that I have my own time of silence to
Yeah.
go home and be my
That's
I
fair.
think I'm more introverted than you. I say I'm
You
an
are.
introverted extrovert. I can convert. I mean, I literally worked in hospitality 60 hours a week. All I did was talk to people. So I can turn it on, but my personal preference is not to.
Yeah. I weirdly feel like I've gotten more extroverted as I've gotten older.
Wait,
Like,
really?
which is kind of like normally it's the opposite, but I've learned how
Interesting.
to kind of manage my energy. I used to feel very drained after being around people,
Yeah.
and now I can be in a big group and be on and leave and still feel like
Okay.
I'm okay. I can do this. And I honestly just think it was practice, like even
Wait, we need to
going
do
to
a whole
ICSC.
episode on that. I kid
We
you not.
should,
We need
because
to
it's
do
a
a whole
real
episode on
thing.
that. You can teach me because I haven't learned that yet.
Yeah, and you kinda have to be able to like, it's an important skill because
Yeah,
networking is important, so you wanna, like, keep your energy going longer.
totally.
Anyway, we will talk about that on another episode.
Yeah, let's file that
So,
away.
we now wanna give a shout out like we do on every episode to the brands that we're really loving. These
Yes,
are 2 of my favorites. I know them personally, the owners, and they've been longtime friends. They're both female-led businesses, so I just love
we love
getting to give
that.
them a shout out. So, I will go first. I wanna call out a spa called Ink and Butte. The founder's name is Yesenia. I have been one of her clients for probably 3 years. It's where I get my lashes done. I absolutely rave about it. Not
Mm,
only does she do an
okay.
incredible job on eyelashes, she does it in such a way that your eyelashes actually grow more and they're not damaged, which I have never found that at
Wait,
Amazing
what?
Lash. Any of the places I've gone to, they've ruined my lashes. She uses a different technique and a different high quality lubricant and cleaner. So it's incredible. She also does advanced cosmetic and paramedic work like scar camouflage, tattoo
Mm,
removal, brow and lip tinting, and a lot of other things.
okay.
So she's really bridging the gap between like medical precision and restorative aesthetics. So it's beauty with a purpose. It's giving people confidence with a fresh start. I highly recommend booking. She's just an incredible woman. She founded this business on her own and she's grown it and she gives great service.
Wow. Wait, I want to double tap on the eyelash extensions because I've been wanting to try that, but I'm so scared it's going to pull out all my eyelashes. So, what do you go every couple of weeks and get them
No, I
done, or
probably
how?
go most people go every few weeks. I stretch it a little bit, so I probably go like once a month or once every 5 or 6 weeks
Okay.
for a fill, but I don't know the ins and outs of like what she uses.
Right, right,
We can
right.
have her on the pod, but it's something that she just uses higher quality and she just fills
Yeah.
just gives you a nice little lift.
Love
You don't have to
that.
put on mascara, so it saves a ton of time.
Wait, I love that because I never
Yeah,
wear mascara, and I feel like you look unfinished when you're wearing makeup and no mascara, so having just, like, a little boost in the
next
eyelashes
time
does a
you're in
big difference.
Dallas,
Yeah.
I want you to try her. I'll book
No,
it
I'm
for
for
you.
sure trying her. And we love women owners, women founders, women CEOs.
We
So,
do.
Yesenia,
They're
great job.
awesome.
Keep it up, queen. So, the next brand we are obsessing over this week is called Ava Exotic. It's a threading studio. This spot is actually in Dallas as well. I get my eyebrows threaded, and so one of my many trips out to Dallas to be with Bretley, I was introduced to this spot and quickly fell in love. I've gotten my eyebrows done at a million different places, and I just when you find a good one.
Yeah.
They're intentional, they're careful, they give you what you really want rather than just what they think looks best on your face,
Right.
which I have had that happen a lot. It's really frustrating. So, Ava is the owner, and she is just one of those gems that you can't gatekeep. She's super sweet, very responsive, quick to book an appointment, and truly really good at what she does. In addition to eyebrow threading, they also do shaping, facials, and advanced skincare services. Ava has a really good eye for detail and making sure the clients feel calm and
Yeah.
peaceful, which is a really big thing because it's a little bit
It's a huge
painful.
thing.
And it's like, it's just not a fun outing for the most part, at least for me personally. I'm always kind of dreading getting that stuff done.
Yeah.
And so when you walk in and it's peaceful and calm and the owner is friendly and recognizable, it makes all the difference. So she's super consistent and thoughtful, and your skin looks better every time you leave. So she's off of Abrams in East Dallas near Lakewood, and actually very close to the
Mhm.
Ink and Butte spot. Is that
Correct.
correct on
Yeah.
directions? Okay,
Yeah, they're very
perfect.
close. Yeah, Ava, I've actually been her client for about honestly, maybe 5 years, for a really long time. Followed her to 3 different salons, and we have become great friends. I was at her daughter's 3-year-old birthday party,
Oh my
and
God.
she is just so sweet, but I don't go to her because she's sweet. She really just has incredible service, and both of these female founders are just really impressive and they're growing their business. And so we're going to link to their website and their services in the show notes. And definitely book if you're in the area or check them out. Follow them on Instagram, social media. You can get more idea on their services there.
Totally. And before we end, really quick, do you have any New Year's resolutions, Bradley, that you want to share with the group?
This was off script. I did not prepare for this.
I didn't either, and I don't know that I
Honestly,
have. Yeah, go ahead.
honestly, I don't really do New Year's resolutions. I kind of just start my goals like whenever I wanna start them, but I will say, not to get too serious here at the end of our episode, but I think my goal is kind of the same as every year, but this year I really wanna focus on just enjoying the process and not
Yeah,
being so stressed and worried about the outcome, whether it's in my real estate business or any of my other businesses. I wanna just enjoy the process of learning and growing a little bit more, so that's a little
totally.
serious, but it's really
No,
something I
that
wanna
was
work on this
good.
year.
No, that
Do you
was
have
good.
any?
I'm kind of similar to you. I don't know why, if that's just how we grew up, but I'm not a huge New Year's resolution person. I'll just start a resolution or a new goal whenever I feel like it, you know?
Yeah.
But I did kind of try to put one together this year. And I think it's really just that I want to spend more time with my family and the people that I love and try to, going back to me being an introvert and not being a huge fan of social settings, I tend to like, I'm going to go to sleep early or I'm going
Yeah.
to chill at home and skip this thing or whatever. And I don't need to be going out all the time, but when it comes to my family or my sister's doing something, or maybe I could fly out and be with you in Dallas, like those are memories that will last forever and are so, so obviously worth it. Worth the
Making
flight
those things a
cost.
priority. Yeah.
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 And so worth the time off of work, whatever it is, whatever you're sacrificing to do it, it's so obviously worth it times a million. So that's my goal is I'm
I
just
love
going to
that.
do more of
That's an
that
incredible
and
goal.
spend time with the people I love. So,
Yeah, the time is going so fast, so we have to use our
yeah,
time
I
just
know.
completely on the most important things. But thank you so much, everybody, for listening in. We're so excited for
Yay.
2026, and we'll
Yeah.
be back next Friday with another episode of Brick and Brand.
Cheers to 2026. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.